Welcome to a brand new era of the SFL, live from the SFL convention in Cincinnati, Ohio, and of course live here from Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium here in Carolina. Tonight we bring to you the Hall of Fame game as we celebrate the newest class of SFL Hall of Famers. Between the Motor City the Eights and the Carolina Skyhawks. Good evening, folks. I'm Tyler Falk, and for the first time live, sitting next to me is my broadcast partner. I've been waiting a long time to do this. Please welcome Brett Solberg.
Oh my goodness, Tyler. You gave me the introduction of a lifetime here, but let's focus on the game in hand here first. We're talking about a Carolina team and a Motor City team who are looking to go a little bit further than they did last season. Motor City over the last couple seasons have been on a downward spiral, as you can say, getting only to 3 wins this past season, whereas Carolina finally got a taste of playoff glory, and they want more than that. They want to get to the big one if they can, and it starts here, week 1 in Cincinnati.
And here we go. Season 21, week 1 is off and running here in this new era of the SFL. And it's a solid return up to the 31 for the Skyhawks. That is where quarterback Matt South will start his inaugural drive here in season 21.
Yeah, and he's got a pickup from last season. He was really pretty much bottom in terms of quarterback statistics here, only under 2,800 yards, just 16 touchdowns, but he did limit turnovers. Carolina's been fantastic last season limiting turnovers. Let's see if they can repeat this performance this season there.
And that is what led them back to the playoffs for the first time in nearly 10 seasons. Consistent quarterbacking play. The first play will be a pitch near side, and getting out of it is Ike McBride. McBride runs for 3 yards, and we bring to you for the first time here in the regular season the starters of the Carolina Skyhawk offense. Matt South is the quarterback. Halfback is Ike McBride. Fullback is Hattori Hanzo. Wide receivers are Chase Earl, Riley Quintero, Harish Prasad. The tight ends are Vince DeSantis and Xavier Solomon. And the line is anchored by Kate Palmer, Ricky Rigatoni, and Chris Cross. And the return again here on the running game is a solid one for a 5 yards from Mike.
Yeah, a little bit of rusty feet there for McBride because she had an open space right down the middle to get the first down, but unfortunately she turned a little bit to the outside on the left and only got to the 38 at that point. She's got to get a little bit better on that.
First third down of the new campaign here for the Skyhawks. It again will be Ike. But Ike gets taken down from behind the line of scrimmage by Nicholas Warner, the safety, and it's a quick 3 and out for the Skyhawks offense.
Yeah, and that's got to be a big statement there for the Motor City defense because you got to look at their rushing defense last season. They were 23rd in the league, averaging over 100 yards per carry per game between the rushing games. So this is a good improvement to get an early 3 and out against this Carolina offense.
First punt here for Carolina, and starting on the return. Good little return near side here for the Skyhawks offense. That is a decent return up to about the 36-yard line here for Motor City. And unfortunately, Guy Clausen on his first play of season 21 is down on the field. A massive blow for Motor City.
That is reverse fortune here. We are so used to seeing Harish Prasad out within 3 plays. I had a bet going in, whether it be 3 plays or under, that Harish Prasad would be out, but instead we see Guy Clausen from Motor City go down, and that is a huge loss early on. They're going to have to recover quickly on this first drive and see what happens.
That'll mean Johan Sutherland, the rookie wide receiver, will have to take over and really provide a lot of spark on offense. His back to pass. Ibrahim Krejeda throws over the middle. Incomplete pass. And let's talk about this Motor City offensive starters. 2 contracted quarterbacks, Ibrahim Krejeda and Michael Brown, the rookie from Madison. Bill Cherry and Christopher Dean are the fullbacks. You might notice no halfbacks for the starting lineup. Johan Sutherland, Shane Kaufman, and Noe Terrazas, along with Guy Clausen, are the wide receivers. Tight ends are Azami Mihata and Julian Gusters and Phil Koss. Line is anchored by the McMillan Bros of Bill, Phil, and the center is John Smith at the pass to the near side of Koss. tight end, anchors a first down.
Yeah, and you can see early on here that Motor City is using that 2-quarterback system as Michael Brown got that completion to Phil Koss, and that's going to be the first down of the season there. Are we going to see more flip-flop action between these two? Brown is back under center on this play here on 1st and 10.
I believe now that's the third straight. This will be the third straight snap for the rookie. Back to pass. Now middle looking to coverage. Hits off the helmet of Monte Wyatt, the free safety, as we introduce the starters on defense for the Carolina Skyhawks. Christopher Colon, Levante Irvine, Steven Forbes, and Phil Hall, the defensive linemen, with Danny Stinson, Mojo McLean, and Trevon Prasad, the linebackers. Tristan Hatley, Skippy Curtis, Davidson Joseph are the corners, with Monte Wyatt, Chris Delro, and Ibari Aman Iglin at safety.
There's Crieta.
Crieta rolling out, pressure coming from behind him, gets it off. Nice pitch and catch near side to Shane Kaufman for the first.
Yeah, and there was plenty of protection there after the rollout there for Crieta. Didn't really have to really focus on that Carolina defensive line getting to him. He could just go through his progressions and get that easy pass down. And if Crieta can continue throwing just those short rocks like that to his receivers, Motor City's going to move down the field as we've seen on this first drive.
Can they keep the momentum going? For the V8s in their white-hot uniforms. Literally and figuratively. It's literally named White Hot. 3 wideouts with 2 backs in the backfield here for Brown as he's back in the ballgame. Tosses over the middle, one-handed snag by Asami Mihara inside the 20, and they're into the red zone for the first time in the ballgame.
Yeah, and this is a big start here for Motor City as a team that only averaged around 20.5 points last season. Really looking to improve that offense. This first drive has really started promising, and it's not been just through one person. It's been a collection by committee through this entire offense. We haven't talked about, just one person specifically. We talked about Crieta. We talked about Brown. We've talked about all these receivers early on here, and it's making progress. They're in the red zone now.
And one thing we haven't seen, partner, is a run. And they'll go to it. Fullback dive up the middle. Bill Cherry for a yard.
Yeah, and this is what you're probably going to see out of their fullbacks. They've got 2 of the 3 highest paid fullbacks in this league here with Bill Cherry and Christopher Dean. I wouldn't be too surprised if we continue seeing fullback dives or even swing passes to one of those guys. Bill Cherry's got the hands.
Another 3 wide receiver set here on 2nd down. Brown will throw. Middle line of coverage and nearly taken away by Danny Stinson.
Yeah, and this is what you got to worry about with that Motor City offense. You have to remember last season, 36 offensive turnovers from Motor City. This is a very volatile offense despite its uniqueness out of them. So you have to be careful with where Brown or Crieta are going to throw those footballs.
Back under center is Michael Brown. 4th round pick out of Madison. 1 tight end on the line. Blitz coming from Carolina. Pass middle caught.
Oh, man.
At the 1-yard line. Noe Terrazas came over in the offseason from Sioux Falls, and it's 1st and goal, Motor City.
And how close was Terrazas to getting that touchdown? That is a saving tackle if I've ever seen one early on in this game. A joint effort from basically the last men left on defense for Carolina. Now Motor City has 1st and goal. Can we guess fullback dive here on the basically at the SFL chin hairline?
Either it'll be Bill Cherry who's lined up at fullback or Christopher Dean lined up in the tailback as they send the tight end Phil Koss in motion from left to right. Goal line defense versus goal line power offense. 1st and goal, 6:16 to go. Fullback dive.
There it is.
For it. There's Bill Cherry. Touchdown, V8s.
Yeah, and more importantly here, Motor City strikes first. And we have seen good luck whenever Motor City has struck first because usually they can get something going with this. But now for them, it's going to be the continuation of getting this offense going. We've seen so many times last season where it would sputter after the first drive. Can Motor City continue this? And more importantly, can the Skyhawks respond on the offensive side?
So out will come Caleb Richards, the 3rd season kicker, to try and tack home the extra point. Snap spot, kick is up, and it is good. 7-0 Motor City V8s. Not only is it week 1 for all these players and fans here on the field, but it's week 1 from everyone here at the convention here in Cincinnati.
Make some noise!
So many folks in attendance, a lot of folks from Motor City and likewise from Carolina. So many friends that I have met over the years and so many new faces. It is good to see everyone here in Cincinnati. We hope you join us for the next convention as the return here from Carolina is underway. Another decent little return there from Johnson as he's able to get up to the 29-yard line. And so it'll be Carolina's second drive, and they went 3 and out to begin the campaign, partner.
Yeah, and it's obviously a little bit of growing pains early on from Carolina here. We know the capability of that offense. Maybe a little bit of an outside stretch to Ike McBride to start things off. See what that defense is going to give you to start things in this drive at least. But right now you have to respond after Motor City really took you down the field and tired that defense out.
So 1st and 10 here for South as he's back under center. Offset eye behind him with 2 wide receivers off to his left. Middle linebacker shows blitz. It'll be an outside line bit. So he said, here comes Ike McBride. 4th carry of the ball game and sends a man to the shadow realm on the far sideline. Picks up 6.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking they were going to do. They're going to maybe do a toss or a stretch to the outside, see if any of those linebackers will kind of try to follow McBride down the field, and that's exactly what happened. McBride kind of slowed things down to basically see her field of depth at that point. Got a nice 6 yards. You can't go wrong with that kind of play.
Similar looking formation here for the Skyhawks. Handoff McBride again.
Boy.
Nothing doing on that run. Going to lose a yard. And another 3rd down coming up for Carolina.
Yeah, got a little bit mixed up with that right tackle over there, and it really messed up McBride's run trying to go through that little gap that was happening, and that resulted in the loss. We should expect a throw here from South in this 3rd and 7.
Potentially his first pass of the night. Indeed it is. 5-man, 6-man rush. Here's the pass. Right side. It's caught behind the line to gain, and it's another 3 and out for the Sky Gang.
Yeah, and that might be a little bit of scared arms there from Matt South, because I think if you threw that a little bit further ahead, probably would have caught it on a jumping catch and a 1st down, but instead underthrows it by about a yard, so his receiver has to kind of catch from, a little bit in. So unfortunately, that's going to lead to the 4th down situation, and back they're punting the football to Motor City.
They punted away to a Motor City team that has won their last 5 season openers. Last time they lost all the way back in season 15 to Louisiana. In a similar twist of fate, Carolina hasn't won in 4 seasons. The last time they won was against Louisiana.
Yeah, the last 8 seasons for Carolina, they've been a 500 team. But like you said, the last 4 has all been losses so far. They're looking to turn the tide. They need to start the season off hot if they want to catch up to these potentially hot teams going forward. We just saw the game earlier here. Who's going to catch up to Florida?
Handoff from Ibrahim Krieta, looking for Christopher Dean. He picks up maybe 2 before the Sky Gang defense gets there. Let's introduce you. Actually, I've already introduced the Sky Gang defense because they've been on the field for so long. So here we go, back to the ground game potentially for Motor City as Michael Brown gets back under center with 3 wide receivers.
Yeah, there's that 2-quarterback system kind of biting me in the butt right now because I said that might not work, but right now it's working.
Pass into double coverage, incomplete. Amount Eglin alongside Hatley come up with a deflection.
Yeah, and again, you see the difference between like a really, really great quarterback in terms of just of reputation and stuff like that, and you go to like guys like Creda and Michael Brown. We've already seen it twice at this point, throwing into double coverage. That's going to be dangerous moving forward if Motor City continues to do that.
Still no word on the Guy Clausen injury. As Brown's back to pass, blitz coming, pass over his intended target, and the Skyhawks needed that badly on defense as they force a punt.
Yeah, and that's where you need the height of a Guy Clausen who's about 6'5" himself to get those kind of jumping catches. So he was kind of relying on the jump of the receiver to try to catch it, but unfortunately just a little bit too high. And now Carolina gets that jolt of motivation that they need to stop this Motor City offense.
The punt is away back for Carolina. Here comes Johnson on the return. He's going to get past the 35-yard line and fighting for a couple extra yards. Solid return of about 8 yards there from Molds, as the offense will come back to the line, and it's a similar vein for Carolina at the moment. 3 plays, And a punt. 3 plays and a punt for the first 2 drives.
Yeah, and we've seen the first 2 plays. They established the run early on. Maybe it's time to switch things up. See if they can start off with a pass. Obviously, I don't think it's going to happen here because they really have their line bunched up here, and they're going to They're going to have someone set in motion to really protect that left side.
And 8 men in the box here for Motor City to try and defend against a potential run. It will be a delayed handoff up the middle, and it's read expertly by the defense from Motor City. Nicholas Warner alongside a few other stuff. Ike McBride for a loss of 1.
Yeah, we're getting past the first half of this first quarter here, and Motor City has responded really well to this early rushing attack from Carolina, so it might be maybe a time to maybe change things up on 2nd 11 to pass things.
Instead, run as McBride gets taken out of the air and slammed to the turf by Warner.
Yeah, and that one was just trying to find an open lane, and Motor City basically closed up any gap that was possible for Ike McBride. So she tried to jump herself forward, and she got tackled in midair and only got the 3 yards.
Another 3rd down here for Carolina as South is back to pass, needs a first down, crossing around, hits Prasad. He turns upfield. Here comes Prasad. It's a first down for the Skyhawks.
$1.99 super chat from Jay Ballmer. He says, greetings and salutations from Duval. Convention time, boys and girls. But look at this preservation from Harish Prasad, almost getting tackled right away, finds a way to shed it off. And that's tough for a receiver in this day of age here, and finds an open hole on the left side, passes the first down marker. Huge point for Carolina to get themselves moving here. First down of the game.
First 3rd down conversion as well here for Carolina as the drive continues. They're on the opposite side of midfield for the first time in the ball game. 1st and 10 with just over 3 minutes to go. They'll go back to the ground game with McBride and only a 2-yard pickup.
Yeah, this is where you're seeing, the linebacking core playing a part of really bunching in, trying to close any gap possible. McBride did get through that first level, but it's that second level that's starting to become a difficulty here for McBride.
2nd and 8 now from the 42-yard line. South, quick hitter, right side, one-handed snag by Riley Quintero coming over this past offseason from Denver.
Yeah, and that's a big acquisition for Carolina, bolstering that already pretty good offense where you know about Harish Prasad, you know about Matt South, and just getting a 6'6" receiver, no less. Cam, where's my 6'6" player, by the way?
Yeah, he's a tall man, this Canadian. Handoff McBride right side, nothing doing on 3rd and short. And Mark Kaufman takes her down, and it'll set up a potential field goal opportunity.
And now not only are the linebackers playing a part in the run stop game, but you're seeing a cornerback blitz on run support here. Carolina's going to have to punt this football here. It looks like they're a little bit too far from what they want to go for a field goal here. Maybe try to pin them deep.
High, very high, spiraling punt. Fair catch called for at the 11-yard line by number 19 out of Motor City. I believe that's Kaufman. And that means that is where the V8s will take over.
Now here's again, we're going to go back to the same question that I posed earlier on after Motor City scored on that first drive. We saw that second drive fizzle out pretty early in a 3-and-out. Can they continue this forward momentum? You've pretty much stopped Carolina at this point in this first quarter. Can you bolster lead? Can you make it double digits?
Under 2 minutes to go here in the first frame of this week 1 clash. Pass right side, finds the tight end Koss, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, and that's just, poor vision from Amin Eaglin there, because he had his eyes set on the receiver only and not on the football. If he would have just turned around, taken a good look at where the ball was going, he could have had his hand up in the air and could have deflected it, but instead that turns into an easy catch and a first down.
A 13-yard pickup for Phil Koss as they'll come out with 2 backs in the backfield and 3 wide receivers. Pass here from Brown into a very tightly contested area, looking for Koss again. Nothing doing, incomplete.
Yeah, and there was a trio of defenders around. You saw Danny Stinson, in front of the football, and then you had Hatley and Amon Eaglin, who we've seen a couple times at this point in the right side, really defending the football well. Mishaps, once or twice at this point, but that's what Carolina needs. They need to really bunch up any receiver options, as you saw in that triple coverage.
They're really trying to attack that side of the football. Roll out left side for Creata, looking left side. One-handed stag
wide open
from Shane Kopp, and that rollout we saw in the preseason. We're seeing it here in the regular season. It's proving effective.
Second time already here. This time Creata goes to the left side, and you can see just wide open space and field. Just, again, not a great job of really covering, this time from Shervon Prasad, who we know is a great cover guy. He was just maybe a little bit too far ahead of the football, wasn't ready for any deflections either. Carolina's got to get ready and get their hands up.
1 minute to go here in the first quarter. Another 3 wide out look. It's Michael Brown under center now. Pass it in. It's deflected. I believe again off the helmet of Abariaman Eaglin. Seems like these first down plays end up on the turf.
Yeah, and it's not too bad for Carolina here, but Motor City's still finding ways on, at least on second down. We've seen a lot of conversions on second down that's been really working out. And really, this 2-quarterback system, at least in this first quarter, has been a rousing success.
It's working for the V8s. Can they keep it going as Creata will send Dean in motion in the backfield? Creata, Pretz coming. Didn't even see it. And Abariaman Eaglin comes up with a sack.
Man, it just felt like he was really ragging on me and really trying to make a play after I called him out from not getting his hands up. This time it's a free safety blitz. Gets right to Creata. No offensive linemen, no halfbacks, no fullbacks were ready for the free safety to come in and get the pass pursuit. So that's an easy sack. And now we're looking at 3rd and 13 for Motor City here.
And a huge hats off to Abari. That's his first career sack here in the SFL. Pass here looking for Brown and nearly taken out of the air by Tristan Hatley. But the ball will fall to the turf. And it's a punting situation upcoming here for the V8s.
Yeah, and it's just like last season here. We got a pass-happy Motor City team, and they're looking to inch their way down the field. But it seems like the early adjustments have started to, take shape for Carolina here. That's, I believe, the 3rd deflection for Hatley in just these last 2 drives against the Motor City offense.
And with the amount of tight ends and the 2 fullback, look, we're never really expecting anything from the V8s because we don't know what they got planned. They're an enigma of sorts, and it's really hard for teams to game plan for them. And when you can crack that proverbial nut of the Motor City game plan, then things start to go in your favor. Maybe it's starting to turn in Carolina's favor now.
Yeah, and it all starts on this drive here. You've been pretty much stifled by the run game here. Maybe there's a play, in their back pocket that they can use to get Ike McBride going. But I would, again, start off pass first down.
First play of the drive, it's a handoff to McBride, and she fights forward for a gain of 6, dragging defenders along with her as we encroach the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, and again, you can see just the all-out defensive effort to stop the run. You saw a guy like David Letters, again, a free safety coming in on that second level to get that tackle. End of the first quarter here, Tyler.
First quarter here from North Carolina and Raleigh in the books. It's 7-0 Motor City over the Carolina Skyhawks. How are we doing, SFL convention? I don't think the folks at home can hear you.
Hey,
How
louder,
are you doing,
louder.
Cincinnati?
Louder!
That was weaker. We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Welcome back to Richard L. Snowden Memorial Stadium. I'm Tyler Falk. He's Brett Solberg, and of course, producing tonight's festivities is, of course, that man, Cameron Irvine. Thank you, Cam. McBride, another
good stretch there.
Arm, and she sends another one as she heads out of bounds. She will not be denied the first down.
Hey, Carolina, you got yourself a first down here through a run. Imagine that. Just on an outside stretch run, give McBride time and space, and she's going to get you those yards. That's a great run and a good start to the second quarter.
Now from the 44-yard line, South changing plays, Motor City changing plays. Handoff up the middle. It's a run, and in the right place at the right time here for the V8s was Terrence Pearson.
And again, you're seeing just extra support here, not just from defensive line, not just from linebackers, but you're seeing the secondary taking an effect against Ike McBride. You're seeing an all 11-man effort to stop the run here from Motor City.
Second 11 now after the loss. South going to look to throw. Late blitz coming. Pass middle. Prasad does not haul it in. Maybe he's got butter from the butter on the biscuits we had earlier tonight.
Well, I was going to say he might have went to the wrong preseason training camp and maybe got led by Jeff Gagne, the world's famous stone hands of the league here. And now he's found himself with stone hands himself. Harish, pick it up, man.
3rd and 11 here for the Sky Gang. Need to get past midfield and then some. South will look to throw. Rolling, firing, middle, and a double coverage.
Oh, boy.
Kane Vasquez nearly took that one away, and that's 4th down.
Yeah, and you can tell that South was really looking for maybe a little bit more of an open option, and Prasad had just enough where South said, you know what, let's see what happens. He slings that rock, it becomes double coverage, and that front man gets the deflection, and once again, Carolina coming up empty on this drive, another punt heading to Motor City.
Back deep to return is Shane Kaufman. He will try to make a return from his own 20-yard line, and he is stopped nearly immediately by Skippy Curtis at the 17-yard line.
Yeah, Skippy Curtis getting a little bit of action there. She loves getting some action. It doesn't matter if it's defense or special teams. And now she's getting back on the defensive side. Hopefully for Carolina's sake, they can maybe turn things around and really stop, again, Motor City to give the offense one more opportunity to tie the game.
We've seen a lot of this 2-back, 3-wide receiver look from Motor City all night tonight. It's resulted in 7 points. Flip out right side.
Man.
Christopher Deed finds some space to bring in that ball. Great pitch and catch. That results in a 9-yard gain for the V8s.
And there's the difference you see from trying to just deflect the pass between that and trying to grab an interception. As you can see, just on the defensive side, Hatley goes for the interception instead, completely outruns the pass, and that's what led to that 9-yard play.
A very heavy look here from the V8s. Creata under center. They'll hand off to Dean, trying to get the 1 yard, and they will. First down on about a 3-yard pickup.
Yeah, and this is just perfect for Motor City. If they can just get short down situations, they can just run it up the gut with those big, beefy fullbacks that they have in Dean and Cherry and get themselves easy first downs. That's no issue for them.
Here comes Brown again, looking middle, and finds Phil Koss. First down at around the 45.
And we got a $5 super chat from one of my favorite tight ends in this league, Will Todd. He says, howdy at all the convention. You want to say hi back to Will Todd?
They all say hi. No. They all say hi except for Andy Hamilton, but that's Andy Hamilton for you.
Boo this man. Boo this man. Boo.
And the boos echo here at the SFL convention as the V8s continue to drive now from their own 45-yard line. Brown underneath, that's caught and fighting.
Yeah, what a catch.
Still fighting, a 9-yard catch from Mihara.
Yeah, that one was a tough one out of there. Oh my God.
Well,
wrong Prasad! Wrong Prasad!
You talked about Harish going down. First we have Guy Clausen go down, and now we have Siobhan go down.
Yeah, it's just bad to worse here from Carolina here. Like I said, wrong Prasad, and Harish has found himself completely safe from this game of SFL Survivor at this point. He has been voted off this island that we call a football field, but nonetheless, Carolina's going to have to find a way to adjust after that injury.
Harish has got an immunity idol.
Another $4.99 super chat from Mr. Cornman himself, Zach Holdorf. And he says, what does he say, Tyler?
Corn maybe? I don't know. What does he say?
Well, he says, I, Tyler Falk, love Dave the Diva Axis.
Well, maybe I do. Who knows? First down here for the V8s on a nice little run up the middle from Christopher Dean, and they're now at the 41-yard line of Carolina.
Just keep moving forward, and that's what Motor City wants to do. Chew up clock and keep moving forward.
It seems those Pistons and those V8s are still humping and priming away. Brown middle, one-handed snag! Mihara flashing his leather gloves and hauling in another catch.
You know, over the seasons, I have always talked about that little space between the safeties and the linebackers that quarterbacks really exploit down the middle of the field. And you see it clear as day here. Those linebackers are set back way too far, which is leaving such an open hole down the middle for any receiver in that option. So it's making it easier for that Motor City offense to keep moving forward.
Can they tack on a few more points on this drive? They're getting right into prime scoring opportunity right now. Floater near side. It's going to go backward as they find Bill Cherry, but taken down behind the line for that loss of 1.
Yeah, and they just need to continue finding ways to, push Motor City back. It doesn't matter if it's just, minimal gain or if it's a tackle for loss at this point. They're really starting to threaten here. If you can even push them back a couple more yards here, it'll make it a pretty deep field goal opportunity.
Pressure coming. One-handed snag. Phil Koss is there. That'll gain all the yards back and then some.
Yeah, and Phil Koss has been mainly the guy that you've seen in Motor City's offense over the course, of the last little while here. Only 39 receptions last year, believe it or not, for 461 and a touchdown.
3rd and 1 from the 19 here for the V8s. They try and go up the gut with the running back, Christopher Dean. And that play has worked out very well in the past era of the SFL. That's always been a swing pass, but as we've noticed now, this run game is really taking off.
Yeah, and you can see just the push forward from the offensive line and the supporting cast on that left side as well. Wide open space for Dean. Just didn't get touched after the first down marker got crossed.
Now from the 15, Creata throwing near side. There's Dean again, this time on a swing pass. He will lower the shoulder, fighting off 2 defenders for a couple yards.
Yeah, that's just strong moving from Christopher Dean, because if it was anybody else, I think, in this game, it probably would have been a no-gain play, but instead he pushes forward for at least the 2 yards. And again, Motor City, keep on chugging, keep on moving forward.
And they'll go back to this heavy line set. 9 men on the line for Motor City. They'll flash out the left-hand side. Noe Terrazas. Creata, handoff again to Dean, trying to push the pile, but brought down by Mojo McLean for no gain.
Yeah, and that was just, over-reliance on the offensive line to keep pushing forward instead of maybe cutting to his right and getting a couple yards out of this. But instead, he just tries to rely on that offensive line, and it's to no avail, no gain on that one.
McLean, typically the right outside linebacker, had to flip over and cover Chevron Prasadas after he went down early on the drive. 3rd and 7 now here for the V8s as they send Johan Sutherland, the rookie out of Annapolis, in motion near side. Blitz coming from Carolina, pass right side, nearly taken away by Hatley. And that brings up a field goal opportunity.
And again, another pass deflection from Hatley. And this should, I could probably say this to the whole crowd, should have been an interception, because that would turn into no points. Instead, we're going to get a 29-yard chip shot from Motor City instead from Caleb Richards. And now we're going to see probably a 10-point lead.
29-yard attempt from the left hash. Snap spot. Caleb Richards' kick is up, and it is through the uprights and good. 13-play, 71-yard drive. Total time of possession, 4 minutes, 31 seconds. A solid drive for the V8s.
Yeah, it's kind of copying, again, that old-era system that has been so successful for teams like Baltimore, teams like Arizona. Eat up clock, extend the drive as much as you can. Doesn't matter if it gets to 3rd down. Eat up clock and finish with a score. And we've seen that twice now, and it's led to 10-0.
Kick off again. Here come the Skyhawks on the return, trying to go forward past the 30-yard line. A solid return from Molds up to the 33. And now the Skyhawks, who have really shown little to nothing on offense to this point, but besides a very solid drive last time out, need to continue on that drive to get some points.
Yeah, and again, I think it's more so maybe shifting gears here and start trusting on Matt South a little bit more here. He has been a better quarterback over the seasons here, and you have to remember, he was the league's least intercepted thrown quarterback with only 17. So you have to trust in that arm. It might be short passes, it might be long passes, but trust in the arm of Matt South.
We have yet to see a turnover here in season 21. McBride,
oh, there it is!
tackle! One play here for McBride. She scampers to the left side. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Skyhawks! Ike McBride, I like Ike!
My goodness, how about eating my own words? I talked about how Carolina desperately needed to start the pass game going, but instead Ike just says, you know what? I'm tired of getting beaten on the second level. Let me get free. Let me get myself an easy touchdown here. And this is the Ike McBride that we saw that got close to 1,500 all-purpose yards last season. Carolina's going to need this and a little bit more moving forward. Great work from Carolina to get back in this game.
What a way to respond from the Skyhawks, and the extra point is up and good from Malone Brown. And just like that, one play, 67 yards. We saw a 4.5-minute drive from Motor City, just under 20 seconds for Carolina.
Yeah, and that's the perfect response. 2 long drives is just, wrap it up real quick offense. Let's get you quickly out of the field. 7.16 seconds. Let's get a little bit of a rest.
And so just like that, it's another return here from Motor City, and breaking off one and still trying to fight for extra yards. The return man for Motor City. And the ball will be spotted on the 28-yard line after the return. And so this offense hopefully got a little bit of a breather after their long drive last time out.
Yeah, and now this is the real test for Motor City here. Now that Carolina has scored, is this river of potential scores going to open up against Motor City? Can they respond in kind? This has been the problem last season for Motor City. They get into these, deficit runs after a while where, you see a 21-3 kind of run against them. They need to improve on this. Can they respond in kind?
They'll start with a throw here from Brown. He loads over the middle, one-handed snag. Oh, what can't these tight ends do? It's Phil Koss with the catch.
Yeah, and again, these linebackers, especially on this outside, they need to move further up ahead. It doesn't matter if you want to defend the deep pass at this point, because Motor City rarely throws deep. So they're going to throw to these mid-route options, and it's leaving those linebackers way too far outside. They need to push them in a little bit further in. Maybe start them at the line, for Christ's sakes.
And what do you do to try and stop him? To try and put an even shorter cornerback on him, maybe a more speedier guy? I mean, the height just continues to win. Pass near side, Mihata turning and bulldozing through Tavis and Joseph for 6 yards.
Man, that's one of those examples of, get the hell out of my way. Pardon my French here, but geez Louise, that is just one of those big hits that we wanted to see out of those fullbacks, and right now Motor City's hitting all gears.
It's the Quebec City coming out in you, isn't that right?
Yeah, Tabarnak.
2nd and 4 from just on their side of the 50. Dean gets the call, breaking out a 1, and just does get enough yardage for the first down.
Yeah, the secondary is really having a tough time even just trying to wrap their arms between Dean and Cherry there. You saw Monty Wyatt again. It felt like he was just butter off of Dean's jersey, just slipping off. No issue for Chris Dean at that point. Another first down for Motor City.
Brown going to throw again, right side. That'll find Mihata. Mihata says, please stop. Stop trying to tackle me. But Amont Eglin comes away with the stop after another 6-yard gain.
Yeah, at this point in the first half, you could probably make a highlight reel of stiff arms and earth-shattering hits against defensive players for Chris Dean here. I don't think he really needs to do anything for the rest of the season. That's his highlight reel.
Back to the line. Now comes Ibrahim in Crayeda as they try and run with Dean up the middle. Another 3-yard gain makes third down that much more manageable.
Yeah, and again, it's a 3rd and short situation. This is pretty much ideal for Motor City. You've got 2 beefy fullbacks to use. It's all a matter of which one you want to use.
Goal line I. They'll go fullback dive with the tailback.
I didn't make
it. No! Denying is Davidson Joseph. 4th and inches on its way as we hit the 2-minute warning here in David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium. This is a simulation football kickoff weekend here in season 21, live from the SFL convention here in Cincinnati. Tyler Falk, Brett Solberg, SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine, along with everybody here in Cincinnati, welcoming you back here. 2 minutes to go in the first half. They go back up with the crowd here on 4th down, and they get it with Bill Cherry.
And those new viewers seeing the new game here, this is what you're going to see a lot more of. 4th down chances in close situations. 4th and inches in this one here. They turn into an easy conversion here.
So that will keep the drive alive. From the 33-yard line of Carolina, Motor City go back to work. Malone Brown, pass, middle, it is! Our first takeaway of season 21 goes to Abane Ahmed Eglin, and Carolina take over.
And there's the volatility of the Motor City offense. We talked about how many turnovers they had last season, and this is the result of having two quarterbacks that are erratic throwers, and it just goes right into the hands, almost drops it, but thankfully for him, collects himself and gets his hands on the football. Carolina, this is your opportunity to take the lead. What are you going to do here with the last minute and a half in the second quarter?
1:31 to go. They start this drive from their own 24-yard line. Quintero, the man in motion toward the near sideline. Mark Kaufman shadowing him on the defense for Motor City. They start with a run. Left side, McBride broke up a 67-yarder on the last possession. This time only a 3-yard gain to start off the drive.
Yeah, and it looked like, I think it was Sabo Kane in there that happened to get that, first kind of shedding tackle, really eyeing on McBride here on that run, getting really ready for it. And you see the stats there, really, starting to get more respectable numbers here. 92 yards in this first half is not something to sniff at.
6.6 yards per carry. McBride through another defender and gaining a few more yards. 3rd and 3, under a minute to go.
Yeah, and they have to continue this aggressiveness here, especially from McBride. That's the first time we've seen, her lower the shoulder on someone here in response to basically the Christopher Dean show in this first half.
They're taking up a lot of this clock here to begin to end, I should say, the first half. They will have to kick the ball away to begin the second half. I would think they'd be trying to get some more points with all this momentum currently on their side. 30 seconds to go. Hand up McBride near side, and that'll be a first down. And they will call a timeout.
Yeah, and honestly, it took them long enough at this point because, like you said, Carolina's going to kick this off back to Motor City heading to the second half. Why wouldn't you use your timeouts a little bit earlier and see if you can get this score? But now you're kind of fighting a little bit more of an uphill battle. They got the timeout now with about 25 seconds left, so let's see what they can do with this remaining, I would say, 55 yards to the end zone.
From their own 36, quick drop, pass, middle, caught. Gains about 6, 22 seconds to go, and they will call their second timeout.
Yeah, this is where we're getting to the point where Carolina maybe has to start throwing out, their deep pass offense. And we didn't really see it too much out of the last game between Florida and Baltimore. I want to see a deep pass from one of these quarterbacks. And Matt South, you're very capable of doing that.
Only one true wide receiver here on this next play. South, middle, caught, looking for the sideline, can't get there. 17 seconds to go. They're going to go back to the line with only one timeout.
Yeah, I think they want to get one more first down before they can hit the timeout here, so at least to get a field goal. But they go and spike the ball instead, stop it with 10 seconds left, give themselves a little bit of a reprieve. Not too bad of an idea.
All right, partner. Right now, Motor City has really contained you to more of a short passing situation. Have not seen Matt South try and air one out yet tonight, and it doesn't look like they're going to try it here on this next play.
Well, yeah, everything's kind of bunched in. We might see another tight end completion out of this, but they really need to convert this into a first down here.
They'll instead run with it. McBride, middle, maybe 5 yards, 3rd down. Back to the line they come.
Yeah, they have to call a timeout. There wasn't enough time.
And they will with 3 seconds to go, which means the Skyhawks might have to try and heave one to the end zone, maybe, partner?
Hey, this will be the first time this season, but we might see ourselves a Hail Gary out of this. Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
Well, you never know. The South is back in the
gun. We got 3 receivers on the right side there.
4 receivers out in the package here for potentially the final play of the half. 4-man rush. Deep drop South.
There it is.
Loads and fires into the middle. It's caught by Quintero inside the 15-yard line, but the time expires on the half, and it's a 3-point deficit for the Carolina Skyhawks as they head into the half down 10-7 against the Motor City V8s, with the V8s on the road. All right, partner, let's start talking through just what has transpired here in the last 10 to 20 minutes of action, which has really amped up the pressure in this Week 1 contest.
Well, early on, we saw kind of the momentum set by Motor City with that first drive ending in a touchdown, and they kind of, really carried that forward for the next quarter and a little bit here. But Carolina has finally found themselves a little bit of breathing room here, got that big Ike McBride run to really, encapsulate a good second quarter for the Skyhawks, despite having Chevron Prasad out here, still waiting on a status for him. But currently, Carolina needs to continue carrying that momentum forward, getting themselves back into the lead. They really want to get themselves, back ahead where they feel like they belong.
Mike McBride, player of the half here for Carolina. They're down by 3. As we welcome you back here to David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium as we give you a quick injury update from both Guy Clausen and Chevron Prasad, as Chevron Prasad and Clausen will be out for the rest of the game, potentially. Maybe Prasad can come in, potentially, but it seems like both injuries mean they will sit out the remainder of week number 1. As we welcome you back once more, SFL Convention in Cincinnati, week 1 in Raleigh. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Brett Solberg and the SFL Commissioner Cameron Irvine. We're happy to have your company here late night here in day 1 of this new era of the league, and we are back and running here from Raleigh. Good little shake and bake move there from the turn man of Motor City. The ball will be spotted on the 31-yard line, and that is where the V8s will take over for their first possession of the second half. Yeah,
and again, what they want to really do here is really kind of set the momentum on the second half here. This first drive is really going to determine whether they're going to have a long drive or if Carolina's going to stop them early and get that football back to try to either tie or retake the lead here.
Michael Brown will trot the offense back to the line. We have seen more of the rookie than we have of Creata here in week 1. Brown looking middle, one-handed snag. Phil Koss, stop showing off, my friend, as that's another one-handed grab from the tight end.
Yeah, and that probably had to be the toughest one-hand catch that he's had so far tonight here, as he had a defender right behind him, ready to tackle him no matter what the situation. He gets his arm outstretched just enough to grab it, hold on to the football while getting hit. That's the toughest thing after the catch, is holding on after getting hit.
And that shows you the resolve that Brown has, because he did throw that pick inside the 2-minute warning deep in their own red zone, but he comes out firing and gets his first pass completion to begin the new drive of the second half. Run, Dean looking for it. They will give it to him. Abari Amen England, the man who came up with the interception in that 2-minute warning, unable to stop him before they convert.
Yeah, pretty close call there, but you can see that forearm and the shoulder just crosses the plane, and that's enough for the referees to give him the first down.
Creata going to roll to his left and fire. It is overthrown, intended for Shane Kaufman, incomplete.
Yeah, and you can tell Davidson Joseph didn't really have to do too much on that one. He knew that it was overthrown, so he just really had to be in the same line of the football, see if his competing receiver had a chance for the catch. He didn't, so he didn't really have to really go and dive for it.
2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Nickel look out of Carolina to try and combat the 3 wide receiver threat. Brown looking over the middle, caught by, well, guess who? Phil Koss, and that's another V8. first down.
Yeah, and we haven't talked about it yet in this game here, but Motor City has done a great adjustment after losing Guy Clausen on the very first play of this game on the kickoff, and they've really relied on basically, I would say, the most veteranized guy on the team in terms of receivers in Phil Koss. He's going to be probably the guy moving forward to the rest of the game here.
Correa back under center. Be a run for Dean, looking up the middle, got turned around just a little bit. Monte Wyatt finishes him off.
And again, a little bit too much of that O-line love trying to push forward, and he didn't even realize he was moving sideways instead of forward, and that resulted in just that 1-yard gain. Carolina needs to continue to minimize these gains here from Motor City.
2nd and 9 from Carolina's 47. Correa will look to throw. Blitz coming, looking middle. Koss couldn't bring it in that time.
This time.
Incomplete.
Yeah, and again, double coverage happening against Phil Koss this time, and Hatley just had the right enough strength to kind of push Koss out of grabbing that football in the one hand. You can't show off all the time, Phil. This time it's an incompletion.
And we have seen a lot of Hatley and Eglin all night tonight, having to try and battle with Koss on that right side of the field.
Watch out!
The pressure gets it away, and it's Koss.
Wow.
What a composed pass from Brown to Terrazas.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was thinking. Just complete composure with, the breath of a defender going against the back of your neck, and he just manages to throw it. And he tried to dive, and that might not have been the right option. He could have just continued running on that one. But nonetheless, great composure to get that pass off, get that completion off. And again, Motor City is threatening.
From just inside the 30-yard line, another 3-wide look here from the V8's offense. Brown will be back to pass. 4-man rush, pass underneath. There's Koss. Picks up 4 more yards.
And I remember, a couple Motor City games where Guy Clausen would be at like 13, 14 receptions in a game. And it seems like Phil Koss is getting to that point. Again, like you see there, 8 receptions already. We're not even halfway through the third quarter. He's definitely on pace for those double digits.
Linebacker shift toward the center, expecting a run through the middle. Instead, it's a rollout for Correa, turning around, firing, caught. First down, Motor City, Azami Mihara.
Yeah, and again, that rollout has really been working for Motor City. Carolina has not had any type of response on rollouts on either side. Again, it feels like the linebackers are pushing a little bit too far back, which is leading to these receivers on either slants or outs to get open.
2 backs in the backfield and an offset eye as Johan Sutherland goes in motion toward the near side. It'll be a run in that direction from Dean. Got that little extra block. There's Dean breaking a tackle.
There it
and
is.
Dean is into the end zone. Touchdown, Motor City.
And again, as much as Tristan Hatley and Ibari, Iman, Eaglin have had, moments where they've been really good here. There's been some tough times as well. Again, another stiff arm from Chris Dean. And again, adding to his highlight reel this week, another touchdown for Motor City. And they're starting to break things open here. Potentially a 10-point lead coming forward here for Motor City once again.
Another long drive here for Motor City. 3 minutes and about 30 seconds says the extra point is up and good from Caleb Richards. 10 plays, 68 yards, and just over 3.5 minutes taken off the clock. Another long, consistent, perfected drive from the V8s.
Yeah, like you said, 10 plays, 68 yards, and where some people in the crowd would say not nice, but nonetheless, they got the touchdown.
Here comes Wade on the return from deep in his own end zone, spinning and looking for more room near side, and he finally gets brought down at the 32-yard line. And here come Carolina. That leads back out to 10. Last time we saw that back out to 10 there, Brett, it was a one-play, 67-yard run for Ike McBride. Does it happen again? Does lightning strike twice?
It's always tough to say up here in the booth, but there's definitely that potential. We know the explosiveness of Ike McBride, so I would say never.
Split backfield, McBride and Hattori Hanzo, the fullback. The two backs back there. South under center. It'll be a run for McBride, right side, trying to find any room to rumble. But Matthew Holford, the middle linebacker, comes up with the stop.
Yeah, and really Motor City has really just done a fantastic job in terms of like shoring up any hole. So those inside runs have really been difficult for McBride. It's been difficult for that offensive line to really separate any type of gap to give McBride. So Motor City has basically done a pretty good defensive game plan to really stop McBride, except if you take away that one run.
Hanzo sent out to be a wide receiver as they run with McBride, and she can only get back to the line of scrimmage as Nicholas Warner, who has done quite a fantastic job in the run-stopping department when McBride has tried to go to his side of the field.
Yeah, it's just been super tough for McBride, even on just those stretch runs to try to get the open gap between the right guard and the right tackle. It just hasn't happened because it's either been a linebacker or it's been a different kind of safety that's been basically shoring up that gap.
3 wide here on third down. It'll turn into 4 wide as South sends McBride out to the flat near side. 5-man rush from the V8s, pass into double coverage off the fingertips of Riley Quintero. You don't see him drop many of those. Unfortunately for Carolina, they will have to punt.
Yeah, and that was a super tough pass from Matt South there, as you had Nicholas Warner, and I couldn't catch the other guy on that one, but it turned into double coverage against a 6'6" Riley Quintero. Doesn't matter what your height is, it's always going to be tough on a double coverage battle 2v1 that favors the defense.
And the punt is away for Carolina as the return from Kaufman gains his way back up to the 35-yard line and no further. 5:03 to go in quarter number 3, and the V8s have taken control at the moment, Brett.
Yeah, and they can really take advantage of this situation here. If they can even get a field goal out of this, it really starts to put in the back of the minds of Carolina, can we even come back in this game? Because we have struggled offensively at this point. Can Motor City really add that doubt into the minds of the Carolina entire team, I guess you could say?
Brown, pressure, pass, one-handed snag, Mihata. These tight ends are something else.
Yeah, and it's been so difficult to try to really pinpoint who or where that who the receiver is going to catch it and where that football is going to go, because I've always been a guy that loves the share the wealth kind of offense, and even though Phil Koss has been the main proponent of this offense, there's still been a great share of wealth amongst this Motor City offense.
Another passing play here from Brown. Has to throw off his back foot and finds Phil Koss. Another first down for Motor City. They just keep trucking along.
Man, and it feels like in situations where, passes shouldn't happen like that, you see stuff like this. That is, a veteran all-pro move by the rookie here. It's just, great work here to keep composed. And you see the stats here. Very respectable stats. 18 to 28 for 209, and hasn't really made too many mistakes except for the interception earlier.
And the pressure that Carolina's been trying to get to him hasn't, as you can see with no sacks tonight. It bobbled over the offensive lineman's head and falls incomplete.
Yeah, again, another opportunity that Carolina, at least get a hand up on there, get a shoulder up, get a head up, use your butt if you can to deflect the pass as well. Just do whatever you can to really stop any momentum going forward for Motor City.
Use everything in the kitchen sink, why don't you? 2nd and 10. Brown going to throw again, and there's Koss again, and it's another 6-yard reception again. Again and again and again we go. Koss will catch all the passes they throw.
And again, look at the situation here. It's a 3rd and 4. It's very manageable for them. They've done a great job in these short down situations, especially on 3rd down. But Carolina, this is a time to stop them here.
3rd down, Creata under center. Two backs, two wideouts, run. Dean gets out of one, but
There's
cannot
the
get out
stop.
of two. That's the stop, and it's Amon Eglin who leads the charge after the first missed tackle. Dean doesn't like it, but potentially points on a field goal.
Yeah, and this is going to be a pretty long field goal if they want to go for it. But look at this. They're going to punt the football away. No points for you, says the soup man in Carolina.
From the 30-yard line, they're punting away. Trying to angle near side is the punting unit. It's going to take
look
a
how
nice
deep that
bounce
is.
out around the 3-yard line. And so Carolina will be pinned deep. Cliff Allen likes the special teams play. Kickers and punters matter too, people.
Yeah, it's going to be a little favorable here, but Carolina, here's the question. You want 7 points? How does 96 yards sound to you?
And well, every journey starts with a single step. Hopefully they move in the right direction. Offset eye behind South as a man goes in motion. That's Quintero on the near side. 3:09 to go. Pitch play near side. McBride.
Yeah, good one.
Looking for blocks. McBride gets 4 on the carry.
Man, our Motor City quick to respond on basically an outside toss at this point. It looked like McBride had the space to, at the very least, get a first down, and they closed that gap so quickly to turn basically 10 into 4 yards.
Another offset eye look. This time only one wide receiver out in the package. They'll again run with McBride. Near side looking for extra blocks. Just not there. One missed tackle leads to 2, but the third time's the charm for the Motor City defense.
Yeah, and again, this is again a situation where Carolina desperately wants to get back in this game, and they're really pushed back at this point. They're at the 11-yard line. You got to have some type of response that isn't just a run, because Motor City has responded very well against the run right now.
The line shifts to the outside, trying to defend from the outside, but they go up the middle. McBride will power through for the first down.
Yeah, and this may be the one error that Motor City did. As you can see, before the snap, they separated their line a little bit, just enough for McBride to have the space, the offensive line to get the gap, and for Carolina to get the first down.
I formation here for Carolina. After the third down conversion, hand up McBride, looking left side and denied. Rodney Panani pancakes McBride.
Yeah, and I think Motor City really scouted the preseason games pretty well, because you really saw a huge amount of big run games in those preseason games, and in their defensive game plan, they relied on stopping on the run.
South going to roll to his right and fires into traffic.
Oh, man.
Nearly taken away. That was telegraphed to Vasquez.
How gifted was that pass to Kane Vasquez? On that screen, was there really any Carolina receiver like remotely close to the football? There was maybe 3 Motor City defenders that I saw first before a Carolina receiver. That's just one of those passes, sometimes you just don't want to see from Matt South.
Third down again here for Carolina. South blitz coming, has to get rid of it. He throws somehow after he threw the football. Incomplete pass.
Guys, what just happened there? Did Matt South find a way to toss an underhand on there?
We're getting a second look here. Just uses
the
force.
He did. Yeah, he did.
He pitched it.
It was a little bit of a pitch after he realized he was basically had no time left. He didn't want to take the sack, so instead he under tosses it. That's one of those things I don't think I've ever seen in my life.
Well, it's going to be a punt, and Kaufman will take it back onto the Carolina side of the 50-yard line, setting the Motor City V8s in their best field position of the ball game at Carolina's 44.
Yeah, already in enemy territory. They don't have to worry about, trotting down the field. They can really get one first down, and they're already in field goal range if they want to go that route, if they want. So really, it's easy goings for Motor City if they can just get one first down.
Well, field goal range at this point is inside the 30-yard line because they punted from the 30-yard line on the last drive. Handoff, Cherry through the middle. Cherry gains 3.
Yeah, and we haven't seen too much of Bill Cherry at this point. He's been mainly the guy who's been blocking and trying to help out Chris Dean in getting, those extra yards. And while Dean has done a lot of it mostly himself, you got to give a big credit to Cherry for kind of helping out as well.
Well, he is more built like a Cherry, nice and plump and able to block a couple of defenders. Pass into coverage, incomplete, intended for Mihata. They're really starting to nail down this offensive attack, which is really trying to incorporate all three of those tight ends.
Well, first off, I don't want to hear you ever say plump again because that was way too dirty in my mind there. But like you said, again, it's trying that share the wealth offense for Motor City, and Carolina is starting to respond a little bit here. Again, I feel like those linebackers are a little bit too far away. They need to start closing up here.
Third down, three-man rush, pass, middle, incomplete, but a flag comes flying. Our first pass interference call, our first flag of the ball game, and it goes against Carolina.
Yeah, and that's again, we saw this in the Florida-Baltimore game. Very ticky-tacky. You'll see on the replay here. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
I don't think that's even close. I think that was a great call, and in my personal opinion, because it was well before the ball arrived. Didn't allow the receiver to even attempt. Yes, he had his hand out there, but didn't have an attempt on the football itself. 1st and 10 now from the 35-yard line. As Brown will back to pass, steps back, looks left, finds Dean, who turns upfield beautifully and gets a first down.
Yeah, and that's, we haven't seen too much elusiveness from these fullbacks here, but Chris Dean did a really, really nice job on turning the corner and avoiding that tackle afterwards. You'll see here he just kind of turns up the Jets just enough, because if he didn't turn early enough, he probably wouldn't have gotten that first down. So a great work of agility to turn that corner and get to that first down marker.
It's been their ability to control time of possession, which is making this defense tired. First down, pass from Brown is incomplete. Looking for Mihata. That's the second straight incompletion when they've targeted Mihata.
Yeah, and this one, I would say it put all the blame on Mihata there, because he was open enough to grab that catch. Maybe it was just a little bit too low on the throw, so you can maybe get joint blame on the quarterback and Mihata, but it's got to be something you got to catch.
2nd and 10 now. Brown blitz coming from Carolina. Pass middle. That's caught. This time it's Mihata, and Mihata makes up for the 2 drops.
And again, you see the composure from that blitz coming in from Carolina, and Brown is just worried about getting that pass off. In that offseason, he was probably told, hey, don't worry about getting sacked until the very last second. Just worry about your progressions and throw that football out, and we've seen that throughout this game.
And so we've reached the 4th quarter here from the SFL convention here in Cincinnati. Get your 4s, your 12s, your 86s, and 68s up. This is SFL Week 1 of Season 21.
Man, it's so great to see those 4s up in person, because whenever I'm alone in my apartment and I throw up the 4s, I feel like an idiot sometimes.
That's a reason why to be at the convention. We can all throw our 4s up together as we welcome you back to David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium here in Raleigh, North Carolina. Tyler Falk and Brett Swalberg on the call, and here's Christopher Dean on the run. And it's another touchdown for Motor City. Way too easy, says Brett Swalberg.
Yeah, it's just you can see the path forming for Chris Dean to just, he could practically walk there if you wanted to, just have a nice and easy stroll. He can walk the dog, walk the cat, walk the horse, walk whatever pet that you have in the barn. Just get to the end zone. You could have taken all the time in the world that you want, but he says, nah, I can do that in 3 seconds. And Motor City has a big lead at the start of this 4th quarter now.
A 3-possession lead for the V8s. Just entering the 4th quarter. Richards' extra point is up and through, and the V8s lead on the road 24-7, partner. And we saw a much more lofty score line between Baltimore and Florida just a few hours ago. This game, a completely different story.
Yeah, it's a completely different story in terms of just offensive output. We did see over 950 total yards between Baltimore and Florida, but right now, Motor City has dictated this game from the get-go.
Can the Skyhawks respond? They're trying to make something happen as the return goes all the way up to the 23-yard line, and that is where the Skyhawks will start this next drive. And you have to think, partner, that every single drive from here on out has to be a score.
Yeah, to take the words from, the world-famous Ryback, slap your head a few times, wake up. That's my words for Carolina here. They've been kind of lulling themselves to sleep in this third quarter. Now in the fourth, you better wake up and get some points on the board.
For an even more niche reference, get a Gib slap, if you know what I mean. Hand off left side. Goes for McBride. It's a 6-yard gain, as might have to go away from this running game if they want to get back into this.
Yeah, again, trust on that deep ball a little bit more because, we've seen a few good catches. We saw that Quintero catch that was deep down the field. That was a too little, too late situation. Maybe see if they can do it with 9.5 minutes left in this game.
Another run. McBride gets turned around by her lineman, but she continues to fight. And she is hard to take down, but finally brought down after a gain of about 1.
Yeah, and it feels like for the first time in this game, Ike McBride is finally starting to get frustrated with the offensive line, with any of the supporting cast right now. So she's trying to do it herself at this point, trying to push over her own teammates and defenders just to get yards.
3rd and 3. Short yard situation. They go with the run from McBride, and down she goes. Vasquez behind the line. 2-yard loss on the play. Brings up 4th and 5.
And again, it's that lack of support from the rest of the offense to get the effective blocking necessary to help out McBride. The outside stretch and the outside run is probably your best bet if you want to continue this offense, but it's not working out if your support cast isn't helping.
Punts away. The Yates will get the ball back. Here comes Kaufman on the return, and he gets all the way up to the 37-yard line. And the injury to Guy Clausen has not impacted this game as much as the Siobhan Prasad injury has affected this Carolina defense.
Yeah, and Siobhan Prasad is a huge leader in terms of the Carolina defense, whereas for Guy Clausen, Motor City's MO has always been next guy up, and whenever someone goes down, the next guy comes in, and Phil Koss has been their guy in this game.
Split backfield, Creata taking his time, man in motion as the play clock dwindles under 5 seconds. Handoff, Creata through the middle. Dean on the call, gains about 3 yards.
Yeah, and I think they're just happy with just shedding the clock already at this point and really making Carolina's defense pay. This might be, again, one of those 3, 4, 5-minute drives that we've seen from Motor City all game.
That would almost be the final nail in the coffin if they're able to take that much time off the clock. Brown to throw, 4-man rush pass. It's caught by Koss. Of course it is. First down V8s.
And again, it's that Carolina defense kind of falling back, being ready for deeper passes. And you can see the fans, response there. It's like, what are they doing? They're kind of pushing a little bit too far back and not getting in front of their men instead, which has led to, I would say, somewhat easier passes that Motor City have seen even in the last season here.
You can see the areas of the field in which Brown is targeted, not really going after the left-hand side of the field where the defense is notably stronger, but the right side in the middle as they look for Mihata, and another flag comes in late.
And again,
pass interference, the second penalty of the game, also goes to the same
guy.
Player for Carolina. Free first down for the V8s.
And that guy is the replacement player for Siobhan Prasad too. Just think if he stayed healthy through this, what would happen if it was Siobhan Prasad on the coverage instead of him?
So it brings up 1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of Carolina. The V8s will continue to roll on as Koss goes in motion from right side of the line to the left side of the line. 7:42 left to go in regulation. Michael Brown to throw, looking, it is nearly picked by Monte Wyatt. Carolina could have sorely used that.
And that could have been just the momentum that they needed to turn this game around, but it just falls off the fingertips. A little bit of too much popcorn on the sidelines perhaps to grab that. But again, another chance for Motor City here, 2nd and 10.
Brown to throw, rolling and firing, and caught by Koss. Catch them all, Koss, first down.
And you can see just like where they really want to throw that football. We saw the chart earlier, and again, it's been on just, mainly the right side and the middle. And again, it's down the middle, and it's the receivers getting in front of the secondary to get themselves the open opportunity. That has been the main difference here for Motor City.
It's been a solid debut for the rookie quarterback. Looking to throw right side. It's Koss again. 6-yard pickup to around the 30-yard line.
Yeah, and these receivers don't have to do anything pretty. They just need to get themselves, in their routes right, get themselves just open enough, and it's giving them open holes. And that middle has been, just an open season for these receivers to catch this football.
5-yard post routes have been the order of the day for Phil Koss, and it continues to work. 2nd and 4 now. Creative will hand off to Dean, left side, and Dean is taken down by Wyatt and company. That will bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, and again, Carolina needs to stop him at this point. They stopped him at around this area before, and Motor City decided to punt this football. If they can even get a potential, a big tackle for loss out of this or a sack, again, they might force a punt of the football.
7 men in the box is 1 man, 2 less, says Dean will get the first down easily.
Yeah, and like you said, easily. I feel like it's just a broken record at this point from you saying, easily getting the first down, easily getting past that first level of defense, and it doesn't feel like that second level is getting there quick enough.
1st and 10 now from the 25-yard line. Dean right side gets destroyed by Danny Stinson. Only 1 yard gain.
Yeah, and that's what they need from those linebackers, that second level, to be ready for those runs. And, after they shed that first tackle, be ready to hit them on that second time and get them down on the ground.
Michael Brown to throw. It hits off the helmet. 2nd time we've seen that tonight. Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, and that's the result of maybe a little bit of a shorter quarterback than we're used to seeing. A guy like Michael Brown trying to throw himself a little bit forward, trying to throw it a little bit further ahead, and it keeps hitting the head of a defender, an offensive player. He's just got to arc that a little bit more, perhaps.
3 down linemen, lots of DBs in the formation for Carolina. Single high safety look here on 3rd down. Blitz coming, pass middle, caught in tight coverage by Johan Sutherland. 1st and 10 here for the V8s.
Yeah, and that one was, the result of having that trips receiver bunch, and you can see double slants to the inside and then a corner to the out, and one of those receivers was gonna get open, it felt like, and Sutherland finds his 6', 182 self to get his first catch of the game out of this.
I think so, partner. A first catch from the rookie wide receiver out of Annapolis, from the rookie quarterback out of Madison. Split backs here on 1st and 10 from the 11-yard line. They'll hand off to Bill Cherry right side. Bill Cherry puts a man to the turf, continues forward and diving. Touchdown, Motor City. It's a landslide here in North Carolina.
Yeah, you have to think at this point that's got to be the final nail in the coffin on Carolina's hopes to start 1-0 this season. Motor City has just done a great, slow, methodical job throughout this game, dictating the pace throughout, and it's capped off by a dive from the Cherry man himself, Bill Cherry, to get himself his first touchdown in the game, and more importantly, a 30-burger for Motor City.
30-7 for the V8s. Caleb Richards on attack home the extra point. It's handled poorly, but it is up and through the uprights. 11 play, 62-yard drive, 3 minutes, 24 seconds. 3rd drive in a row that has been 3+ minutes.
Yeah, and it's just getting that Carolina defense so tired to the point where you can just get anything that you want. And again, slow, methodical drives have led to this successful day, or successful night from Motor City.
Here comes the return here from the Skyhawks. Molds gets all the way up to the 29-yard line. That is it for the return. And While we have a moment, Mr. Brett Solberg, of course, this is the Hall of Fame game. Hall of Famers will be inducted following all of what transpires here in Raleigh. Please stay tuned for that. Stay tuned here at the SFL convention as we welcome 7 more of our illustrious members into the Hall of Fame, and rightfully deserved. Handoff, McBride stood up in the backfield. The wheels have come off on this run game.
Yeah, and that's been the story of this game here. It's just Motor City ready for the Ike McBride attack, and there hasn't been any response from Carolina. Not enough passing attempts, in my opinion, from Matt South, because I don't think he's gotten himself warm enough on the arm to really make an impact, I guess you could probably say, on this Carolina passing offense.
Quintero, the man in motion here on 2nd and 11 as the clock continues to ebb away. When will they go to a more productive and hurried offense? South will look to throw left side. Quintero has to backtrack, but can't haul it in as he's backpedaling.
Yeah, you want to tell the story of the Carolina passing offense? That is a great representation right there. They've had a chance, and they're bobbling it. It's safe to say, and I hate to be so critical of Carolina because that's one of my more favorite franchises out in the league.
3rd and 11 now, 4 wide receivers, one of the most proactive formations we've seen out of them all night tonight. Blitz coming. South to throw near side. Caught by Quintero.
There it is.
There it is. Still going.
He's got one man.
Inside the 30-yard line. He just walks out of bounds at near the 27-yard line. But that is progress.
Yeah, that's the progress that they need there. They finally, they get themselves that one open hole that they needed. And Quintero is as dangerous as it comes because he was the top guy in Denver. Let's be honest here. Now he comes to a Carolina team looking for more success than Denver has given them over the last couple seasons. And that's what they're going to get out of him is going to be those big plays.
Bunch set left side of South, back to throw, passing middle.
There it is.
Oh, it's a flag. Potentially another pass interference call, Brett.
Yeah, it's number 3 in this game here, and I think this one's very clear cut. Again, like you said on that first pass interference, it's just not an attempt to try to get the football, but just get the man himself. And we'll see on the replay here, a lot of bumping. Yeah, just no attempt at the football whatsoever. Just pushes the receiver instead of trying to get the football.
He became a bollard or a pylon right in the path of the defender's face, and it brings up 1st and 10 from inside the 20-yard line. Bunch look again here from the Skyhawks offense. 4:21 to go in regulation. South back to throw, dumps it off for Quintero. Just not enough touch on the pass, maybe deflected at the line.
Yeah, it looked like it was deflected a little bit because you can see the football kind of flipping over on its side. Matt South is not one of those quarterbacks that throws absolute ducks of footballs that we've seen throughout the seasons here. So I'm guessing more so erring on the side too of a deflection.
They'll flip the formation from 1st down. Bunch set right side now as Harish Prasad goes in motion to the left side. He's upright in this game, partner. Still upright and ready to go. 4:19 left to go. Still plenty of time. Pass middle into double coverage. Oh, it's caught.
Yeah, and there's the numbers you want to see there. Not enough on the attempts department. Only 16 attempts. Are you kidding me?
Chase Earl with the catch. They try to go near side, and it was nearly taken away. Looking for Harish. Brings up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, but now you see the sense of urgency from Carolina. They really want to get a score here. They still see themselves as either a chance to make this game more respectable or a chance to get back in this game with their crazy minds. Who knows?
They will need a miracle of all miracles to come back in this game, but as we well know in the SFL, we've seen some crazy stuff. Who knows what'll happen? The last 4:07 to go in the 4th quarter. South looking back of the end zone. Nothing doing. Looking for Harish, but couldn't haul it in before he ran out of bounds.
I'm a guy that loves his mustard, but there's a little bit too much, in my opinion, to Harish. He didn't have enough, time to really set himself either. He basically had to rush to the spot. And I felt like it didn't matter if he was going to catch it or not. He was going to land out of bounds regardless on that. So he's got to throw a little bit of a softer pass so Prasad can get to it and properly get his feet in the end zone.
3rd and goal Here for Carolina as David A. Richardson gets loud. South to throw, blitz coming, looking, middle, cut! Riley Quintero! Touchdown, Carolina!
And there's a little bit of light there for Carolina. It might not be at the end of this tunnel here, but at least they can take away the fact that they got themselves their passing game that they wanted all game to finally work here late in this fourth quarter, and that could be something they could really work upon moving forward and see if they can build upon in these later weeks.
Quintero gets his first catch after he moves from being a Nightwing to a Skyhawk in the offseason. South gets his first passing touchdown, ties Jacques Louis-Nduya for 22nd all-time. And the Skyhawks are going to try for an onside kick here with 4 to go.
And to reiterate what the crowd said, more specifically Cliff Allen, yes, special teams.
And here's the onside kick, easily handled in, and here they go.
Oh,
on the return, inside the 30, shoving defenders, and they're down. Pritchett is down to the 22-yard line. A beautiful return on the onside kick.
You know, at this rate, it's going to be sometime this week where an onside kick is going to be returned for a touchdown at this point. The second time, 2 for 2 on these onside kicks just tonight, where there was just a chance for a touchdown here. And look at this, Motor City already pretty close to the red zone. They could breathe as easy as they want at this point for the last 3:56.
They should be in field goal range, so if they play their cards right, they could make it a 20-point lead at the end of all this. Handoff, Bill Cherry bulldozing through one, out of another, still going as Cherry.
Oh my goodness.
Near side 10, 5,
Wow.
and touchdown!
Wow.
Bill
Wow,
Cherry,
wow.
the fullbacks fully on display. Motor City are going to take a week 1 victory, all things considered.
And let's be honest with each other for a second. When we saw that Motor City didn't have a contracted halfback in their roster, we were probably thinking to ourselves, they got to be crazy at this point. But Dwayne Schindler saw something that we didn't with these two fullbacks, and they have been on full display in this game, a showcase for both Christopher Dean and Bill Cherry to start off the season for the V8s.
Dwayne Schindler, Drew Reilly, who said it himself, he's on the hot seat in the coaching staff department here in Motor City. Colin and Rick Northrup, 1 play, 21-yard drive for the V8s, and it's more than 30. It's a 24-point lead here as we take a look at the sideline for Carolina. Unfortunately, just has not been the season opener to remember, and that little run of losses on opening day might be stretching to 4. And for the V8s, Brett, they've been slipping and sliding. The win column has kept coming down. Last season, 3-9. If that trend continues, it'll be a certain record place there. But after tonight's performance, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, I know you don't. I know you don't want to say 2-10 because whenever you've talked about 2-10 teams, what happens? Look at Atlanta. With the first team you said it was 2-10. What happened to them? It's easy to say, nonetheless. But like you said, and like I've said, just a complete dominating game from Motor City from both ends of the field, and it starts with the run game from the fullbacks, and it ends with stopping the run against Ike McBride.
So here comes Matt South. He trots out the troops once again here late on here in the fourth quarter of week 1 of season 21. Pass picked up, back the other way.
Bye-bye.
Game, set, match. Kane Vasquez, pick 6, the first pick 6 of the new era.
Man, that's like pouring a whole bottle of Captain Morgan into an open wound. That's just bad news, even worse news at this point. It's just the worst thing to happen for Carolina.
They were queuing up for the pick.
Yeah, that's what it was. They were so ready for it. Again, complete domination from Motor City at this point. What else more can we say about a great performance from the V8s?
The V8s have taken a bat, they looked at it, they tossed the side, grabbed the sledgehammer, looked at it, threw that to the side, then all of a sudden grabbed the jackhammer and broke this game wide open. Extra point up and good. 31 points separates these two clubs as the V8s will roll out of Raleigh. It's almost a done deal. 3 minutes, 35 seconds to go, and that's it.
The one thing that I'm really focusing on is whether or not Cliff Allen can continue screaming, yeah, special teams throughout tomorrow, because there's going to be more than 2 games tomorrow.
I mean, we've got 2 instances of SFL red zone, 4 games going on at the same time. He's going to have to be saying every 2 seconds, yeah, every 2 seconds, go special teams, yeah, special teams. As it's 1st and 10 now here for the Skyhawks. Now it's a matter of playing for pride. Can we get some more points? Can we get past the 20-point mark here at home? Can we send any of our fans home happy with an extra couple points here? Blitz coming, pass near side, in and out of the hands of Chase Earl, incomplete.
Yeah, at this point, I think for Carolina, they should really just do one thing. Let's have Harish Prasad run like a 600-yard streak right to the end zone, see how far that Matt South can throw, and see if, after a tackle that Harish can stay healthy. Well, that's all I'm guessing.
If I do my math correctly, 600 yards, he's running through the stadium, out through the parking lot, and over to the next town over. He's probably running to Charleston at this point. Floater left side, there's probably plenty of room for Ike to run.
Oh!
And forward, and finally out of bounds. A good pitch and catch. That worked out rather quite nicely for Carolina.
It might be something that they can just keep in their playbook for next week against Charleston. And I've got opinions about those jerseys, but I'm going to keep that to the side for the Charleston Predators here. But nonetheless, another successful play here for Carolina, and get themselves building upon these positive things heading into next week. Now that they know that this game is pretty much over.
From their own 47-yard line, 3:21 to go here in this 4th quarter. As Earl is the man in motion near side. As King Rasheen will come on over. 4 DBs covering those 3 wide receivers near side. Quite interesting. Blitz, pass left side, caught by Vince DeSantis. Our first look at the tight end all night for Carolina in the passing game, but heavily involved in the run blocking. Pass near side. That's caught by Quintero inside the Motor City 40-yard line, and back to the line they go.
Yeah, this is something that they want to do here, see if their 2-minute drill can work.
Another blitz, pass left side to Santos. He gets blasted forward. Strangely not called for first down, and they want to get something right. They want to take a look at this new officiating crew and say, hey, you're not R62. Get your eyes right.
Yeah, and I was going to say, if they didn't go with the hurry up there, if Carolina went without passing it to the tight end, I'm pretty sure that Mike Daggs would have cried for the rest of the night. So it's a good thing that Carolina finally got the tight end involved here. And we'll have to see the placement of this. The elbow is clearly down past the first down marker, but we have to see if that knee goes down first before the elbow. That is the biggest part. Did the knee go down first, or did the elbow?
And where was the ball at the time he went down? It is overturned. It is a first down for Carolina. The challenge is good, so no timeouts used for the Skyhawks. It'll be 1st and 10.
Well, at least it's one victory that Carolina can boast about in tonight here, is that they won a challenge. But that's about it.
From just inside the 30-yard line, 1st and 10. Now for Carolina, down by a boatload. Trips off to South's left. Here on 1st and 10, 2:54 to go. Blitz coming. South over the right side off the helmet. And incomplete. Earl, the intended receiver, on the play.
You know, that kind of reminded me of when I was playing football up in that northern country we call Canada, eh?
Oh,
and the only catch that I ever had in my life was a deep streak route. It deflected off the helmet of my defender and into my hands like a breadbasket.
There you go. Did you score at least?
Yeah, it was a 65-yard touchdown.
There you go. 2nd and 10. No, we'll get back to that story here in just a moment, because I got to wonder, was it Canadian rules football or American rules football? We'll have to figure that out. Pass near side, caught. There, finally gets a catch. and he's out of bounds inside the 10, first and goal.
Nice little catch and run there from Earl to keep moving forward, get past the first down marker. And again, a goal line situation here for Carolina to, kind of soothe that wound a little bit here. But yes, it was indeed Canadian rules. And it was I believe it was a 2nd and 15 because we did have, it was a 2nd and 20 because we had an offside in the first, on the first down. It was an incompletion on that first down because I decided to jump for the football instead of keep running. So in the second down play, I continued to run. It went off the helmet into the breadbasket, and I ran.
There you go. First and goal now here for the Skyhawks. From their own 8-yard line, blitz coming, pass middle, caught, touchdown. Riley Quintero, his second of the ball game. And they will get more than 20 points.
Yeah, and I think that's something really to build upon. Quintero with his second touchdown here, and he might be a potential threat to the Carolina offense if they can get their playbook going a little bit more here moving forward in these next couple of weeks, because Quintero can be a threat with the right offense. We've seen him be a threat before in this league. Can he do it again with a new team?
With Denver, you go all the way back to his SFL days in Albuquerque. A solid wide receiver. Carolina have a gem on their hands as Carolina, 8 plays, 75 yards, results in another Quintero touchdown. And to save face, they will try another onside kick, and hopefully they can stop Pritchett from returning this one. As he bobbles it, but hauls it in. Pritchett on the 45-yard line of Carolina, and so with 2:41 to go, that spells the potential end of the game if it wasn't already spelled out already.
Yeah, at this point, what else does Motor City need to prove in this game? I mean, we haven't shed too much clock off. Let's be honest. We've already had 2 scores in, the last minute and a half of this game?
Carolina's defense tries to trot out 8 men in the box. I formation behind Creta, handoff, Dean near side. Dean gets about 6 yards as the clock will roll all the way to the 2-minute warning as we start to look forward to tomorrow and everything that's going to happen tomorrow. We've got a certain game, Indy and Minnesota, with Curtis and Torillo on the call. That will be a spectacular game tomorrow morning. We've got more action. We got 2 instances of SFL Red Zone, 4 games going at the same time. A whole bunch of folks. The Northrop's on a call. Chad and Eddie on a call to finish out the entirety of the convention. So many things to look forward to as the clock will run all the way down to 2 minutes. 2 minutes to go in regulation. Motor City trying to milk the rest of this clock out and go back to Detroit home happy.
Yeah, and Motor City's going to be, happy heading back to Detroit for sure here. But there's still 2 minutes left. Maybe it's time, start working on plays they haven't used yet in the playbook and see how successful they are. You got to remember, it's a much bigger playbook than we're used to. A minimum 230 plays on each team.
Hand off Dean right side. Team looking for one extra block. Taken down. Beyond the line to gain another first down for Motor City. Carolina will use their first timeout.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Chris Dean is looking at himself and saying, I only got 66 yards. Why don't I get myself to 100? I've had a dominating performance at this point. Let's get myself 11 or 12 more here.
Just keep going. Just keep going, big fella. From the 31-yard line, here come the Motor City V8s again. This time it is Cherry with the run up the middle. Carolina will use their second timeout, and it's almost just a formality at this point, Brett, for the game. Final score will be about what we have currently, but let's give credit to both these clubs. It's a massive undertaking to go from one regulation rule set to another, and despite the score line, there's positive to look at. It's not a complete blowout, and I think both teams should be proud of especially what they look like and how they're playing.
Yeah, and peeling back the curtain just a little bit here, you got to think, you may think to yourself that, 2 or 3 months is a lot of time to really adjust yourselves from, like you said, one set of rules to another. But it is huge. You have to think about, the new mechanics. You got to think about like a new plays that you want to, experiment. You got to add a lot more than you're used to. There isn't that, tried and true one play that you figured out quite yet. There isn't that, T-pad approved system of offense that you can use. I don't even know if the 15-yard corner route to the sideline is going to be that effective as it was before.
It really depends on the player and in the system this time around in this new era of the SFL. As the V8s now, minute 22 to go, they come out in every head coach's, offensive coordinators, and team's favorite play. It's the victory formation, as Creata will go ahead and take a couple of knees, and that will get us to the end of this football game. 45-21 will be your final score. Motor City
Still got in a minute.
will take down the Carolina Skyhawks here in Raleigh, North Carolina, from David A. Richardson Memorial Stadium. We've already been here 2 days, Brett.
Yep.
And we have had such a great time here in Cincinnati. We've had an opportunity to meet so many new, old faces for myself. Everyone here, you've seen, all you've done is seen them on Discord. Your first SFL convention. How has that been for you?
First off, it's a much different experience going from Canada to the U.S., just in terms of like the sites, more or less, seeing older buildings. I'm so used to, seeing things from maybe the 70s at the oldest, because we rebuild our houses so often and rebuild our infrastructure as quickly as possible. But also, like, meeting these faces in person, all that I usually get to see is either a moving webcam where people get to talk and see, or just a picture. And this time I'm actually seeing the person in real life. I'm lifting them up to hug and almost making them like pee their pants, like I did with my fellow owner Andy Hamilton. Like, it's been a fun couple days so far.
And that will bring us to the conclusion here from Motor City. 45-21, your final score from David A. Richardson. That is going to do it for us tonight. We've got Hall of Fame induction ceremony coming up here soon. Here's a brief look at all the stats tonight. But for my partner, Brett Solberg, the SFL Commissioner, Cameron Irvine, and all of us here at the SFL Convention, I've been Tyler Falk. Until the induction ceremony, and of course until tomorrow, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
Bidoo!